Today I'm going to show you how to recall secret values that you have stored in a Hashicorp Vault server into your automation scripts in Morpheus, which is extremely useful if you use Vault to store most of your secret values. So to start out, I'm in Morpheus Cipher. That's under the Tools menu and then Cipher. And we need to add a couple of values into the internal Morpheus Cipher. We can do that by clicking Add. Now I've already added the two values that I'm going to use, so I won't draft them here. But that's how you would start a new one if needed. So what we need is the URL for our Hashicorp Vault server, as well as a token stored at the following mount points: vault/config/URL, of course that's for the URL, and vault/config/token for the token. Now we can decrypt those real quick, just so you can see what I have in here. Just have the URL for my Vault server, which is already running. And then I also have my token here. Now I have my server in dev mode, so this token will be blown away as soon as I stop the server, so there's no issue with revealing that here. But I would recommend that you use a long-lived token here, because if this token ever becomes not good for one reason or another, then you would just lose access to those values, and probably some of your automations are going to begin to fail. If that happened, you would just come in here, delete this particular cipher entry, and then add another one with a new token that was good. But it'll be easier if that doesn't happen, and you don't have to do that very often. So with those two values entered into our internal cipher, let's just quickly take a look at a secret value that I have stored in my Vault server. I'm going to slide over a terminal session that I already have running. And the secret that I want to get at in my automation script is this, it's stored at secret/morpheus-credentials/my-vmware-admin-creds. You can see I have a value at key password and a value at key username that are stored there. So let's see if we can call those back through Morpheus automation. So back in Morpheus, if I go to Library and then Automation, I already have a script here. You could do this in any number of the scripting languages that we support. In tasks, I've done that in a bash script, so let's edit that to see my configuration here. So I'm doing two things here. I'm loading into two variables. One is a value that's stored just in my internal cipher, just to kind of show that you can do both here. So this one's coming out of my internal cipher, and this one, there is no value at my internal cipher that is at this particular mount point. So this is coming from my Vault server, and you'll see here in a minute that it's the same values that I just showed you in the terminal session. But we want to read from, in my case, vault/secret/data/morpheus-credentials/my-vmware-admin-creds. Now this pathing I've pulled directly from the Hashicorp Vault API documentation. So you can do the same to call out any values that you might have at different mount points. It's always going to start with vault/, but in your case, it could be a different, of course it's going to be a different path if you have a different, name there for the mount point that you've stored your secret values in. But all I'm going to do is load those into two variables and then just echo those back out just to show that I can get at them. So I'll save my changes here, and I'm going to execute this. Now in this particular case, it doesn't really matter which resource I'm going to run this against, so I'm going to just run it against my Vault server itself. And if I hit execute, now if I go into executions to see the output result of that, here's the one that ran just a moment ago. If I click that drop down, we see that there's two values here, and this is exactly what I wanted to see. So this was just a dummy value that I entered into my internal cipher, just to illustrate the point of calling those out. And then this is the password and username that you saw when I showed my terminal session just a moment ago. So any number of things that you could do here, but that's just a nice, easy way to not have to duplicate any values in Morpheus's internal cipher in order to be able to use those in automation. If you already have them in Hashicorp Vault, you can get at them very easily without having to do any copying, pasting, things like that just create more work and introduce possibility for error. And, you know, when it comes time to rotate tokens and things like that, it becomes a pain. So doing this, we can just grab them directly from Vault and use them in our automation scripts. Thanks.